I bought this refurbished Xbox 360 from DK Oldies for $145, and in this video, we'll see if they actually refurbished anything and if it's worth the $145 price point. Now, I don't know much about this 360. All I know is it's called a standard player pack with 60 gigs. It looks like one of the original ones. I don't know if it's like a Jasper or one of the original ones without HDMI. I have no idea. They didn't say, so we're going to see what we get. All right, so the big reveal. Got some paper on top. All right, taking out the paper and, oh, nice. Okay, so we got a power cord here, and we should have, yeah, so we have the power brick. Oh, interesting. So we have a black power cord to go with the power brick. I guess it doesn't really matter. Random bubble wrap. We do have an official controller, it looks like, which is obviously a good thing to see. Oh, that's not official. Dude, that's a third-party controller. You're joking. They sent me a third-party controller. I paid $145 for this. Okay, all right, we'll take a closer look at that in a second. I also ordered Modern Warfare 2 just because it's supposed to be complete in box, and indeed it is. Let's check a look at this disc. Looks pretty good. Cool. So the game and disc are good, and then here's the console. We've got some more packaging and barely any bubble wrap. Wow. So here's the packing slip included. As you can see, I got Modern Warfare 2. Also got a 360 standard 60 gig player pack white, whatever that means. So I just wanted to jump in here and talk a little bit more about the whole player pack thing. Now, when you scroll through their website, you can see that all of their systems, for the most part, are called player packs, like player pack white, E4 gigabyte player pack, system pack, console only black. So that one's actually not a player pack. So I'm not really sure what it means. It seems to indicate that it includes a controller. I don't know why they chose player pack. Not really a big deal, just something interesting to point out. And then something else interesting you'll notice when you scroll through their website, every single product is marked down all the time. Like, as you can see, oh, that one's not marked down, but everything else, $199 to $129, $249 to $174, $309 to $224. And, you know, I don't know if they were ever actually at these prices, but every single product is marked down like all the time. There's a couple things here that clearly aren't marked down, but in general, most things are marked down all the time. Now, taking a look at this console, not too impressed with the packing job. I mean, there's not even any padding on this whole side of the console. A little bit sloppy, but I guess if it arrives in good condition, I can't complain. All right, so taking the console out of the bubble wrap. Oh, they included a system and game startup thing. This looks pretty generic, but let's take a closer look at it. Yeah, so it's definitely generic for pretty much all systems. Yeah, I'll just put that to the side. And here's the console. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and see exactly what they sent us. Wow. Now, the first thing you notice is memory unit A is completely missing. The cover is gone. This is a good condition system. I paid $145 for it, and it's gone. Wow. Not a great start. So I just wanted to jump in here again and talk about the whole condition thing. So first of all, you can see the condition is refurbished, and then you have two options. You can select good condition system or cosmetically flawed. Now, obviously, I selected good because that was $145. Cosmetically flawed was a little bit less, but I selected good, and so I would expect that if I select good, that means that there's nothing wrong, nothing cosmetically flawed about my system, but the fact that the memory card little slot is missing, to me, would indicate it's cosmetically flawed. That's just me, though. I don't know. I mean, let me know down below if you think differently, but since I did not select cosmetically flawed, I would think that there would not be any cosmetic flaws with the system. But I will say, other than that missing piece right there, the front looks really good. I don't see many scratches or scuffs or anything. Top looks pretty good as well. About as good as you can get on a 360 that's used. And here on the back, this is a 2007. It's not even a Jasper. Wow. It at least has an HDMI port. Let me take a look at this power port and see which motherboard it is. Now, taking a look at this power port, it appears to be a Zephyr motherboard, which is one of the worst ones. It's one of the original ones. Not quite original, but still from back in the day when most of the consoles red ringed. So yeah, long term, this thing will probably get red ring of death one day. Not ideal, and I think it's a little bit sketchy. They didn't even tell me what motherboard I would get when I bought it. Now, moving on from that fact, it does appear it's been opened before because I definitely see some wear and tear on that hole right there. So it appears it's been opened. You even got this like DK Oldies warranty sticker, I guess. And then if we open up the front plate, let's see what we see. Now, faceplate off, looking at this warranty seal right here, it appears to be tampered with, but it's not actually broken. But I would still assume this has been taken apart since it's been refurbished. You know, I would assume they clean out dust and replace thermal paste and all that good stuff. But we'll, of course, take a look at that later. Now, let's go ahead and plug this stuff in and see if it works. But actually, first, I forgot. They sent me this third-party controller. Let's take a look at this. Now, you can tell the triggers feel really cheap. It's actually a really good knockoff because it looks so similar. The only difference is there's no X on this button here. Everything else looks just about the same. That's amazing. I can't believe I paid $145 for this, and it doesn't include an OEM 360 controller. I guess to be fair, they didn't say they'd include an OEM. They just said a compatible controller, but the picture shows an OEM, and you would think for $145 you'd be getting an OEM, so that's a bit sad. But let's go ahead and plug this in now. So I have everything plugged in now, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier, but if you don't know, DK Oldies is an online like retro game store basically, and they're known for pretty high prices. Like this is, I'd say, more than double market value for a 2007 Xbox 360. 145, probably still on eBay for 65 maybe. And then a couple other things I noticed as well. This is really nitpicky, but this power cord is shorter than the original one, so I had to grab my original one, plug it into the power brick so that I could actually reach my outlet. And then also, I don't think an HDMI cable was included. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see it in the box. Whatever, I guess. Let's go ahead and turn this console on. All right, it's booting up. I'll just show you guys so you can see that it indeed is booting up. All right, so it is factory reset. Let's go ahead and see if we can sync this controller up. All right, so we're on the Metro dashboard, which is not surprising. Let's go ahead and see what the actual dashboard number is. So we're on 2.0.16537.0. Not sure if that's the latest or not, but I'll throw it up on the screen if it is. Now let's go ahead and see if this disk drive opens. That's the first test. Will it get stuck or will it not? We'll try it a few times and see if it gets stuck, because that's a pretty common issue with Xbox 360s this old. So far, so good. Has not gotten stuck. Let's go ahead and try it in the upright position. Make sure it doesn't get stuck. All right, so we are good there. Let's go ahead and plug in a game. I'll just use, obviously, Call of Duty since I bought that from them. See if it works, see if it boots up. Let's go ahead and put it in and try it. And then I also need to test the hard drive size. Make sure it actually is 60. So 51.1 free, so it is about 60. We're just gonna start up a split screen match with myself, and everything's loading up just fine so far, pretty quickly actually. Now this controller is not the best. It's super clicky, like really loud. The analog stick is not the best. The D-pad's not the best. I don't know. I'm definitely disappointing. This is not an official one. But we'll test it out some more now. So I've been playing around in Team Deathmatch. Everything's working so far. This controller is actually not quite as bad as some other third-party ones I've used. Now still not as good as an OEM, but not too bad. All right, so we're backing out to the main menu. We're gonna connect to the internet, see if I can connect to Xbox Live. Make sure it's not banned or anything like that, and we'll see what happens. So we're testing out the network, and it wants me to do an update. So I'm assuming, obviously, it's not on the latest dashboard. So let's go ahead and update. So it does appear that the console is fully functional. Obviously, we tested out a game that worked, connected to Xbox Live, downloaded an update, all that worked. So we're good there. We're going to go ahead and open up this console now and take a look inside and see if anything was actually refurbished. All right, so let's go ahead and take this thing apart. Now, the first thing I wanted to check was that the 60 gigabyte hard drive was genuine, and it is. It looks like it's OEM, so that's good to see. Now let's go ahead and take this console apart. All right, screws in the bottom are off. Let's slide the top off, and oh yeah, it does actually look very clean in there. That's good to see. It looks like either they cleaned out the dust or it wasn't dusty to start with. Now let me take this disk drive out and see if there's anything going on under here. All right, so looking at the disk drive, it still has the warranty seal intact, so I don't think they did anything there. And then taking a look inside, we'll take off this cover as well. So plastic piece off now, and it does look like they did a nice job of cleaning it up in here. I don't see like any dust or dirt at all. You know, either they cleaned it up or it was like that before. I don't know which one. It doesn't really matter, honestly, but ooh, something just fell out there. All right, so some little plastic piece just fell out. Not sure where that came from. Could have been from when I opened it up. I'm not sure. So last thing I want to do here is remove the heat sinks and see if they actually changed the thermal paste, because I would think if they're refurbishing it, that's something they should do. And I would think they would want to do that so their console would last longer and not get returned during warranty. So let's go ahead and take it the rest of the way apart. So we're down to the X clamps, and let me know down below if you've ever removed one of these X clamps. They're a pain in the butt to do, but I'm just curious how many of you guys have done it before. First X clamp is removed. Let's go ahead and reveal the bottom and see if there is new thermal paste. And nope, that appears to be original. I've opened a lot of these in the past, and that sure does look like the original thermal paste to me. You can kind of see it spread around the outside of the heatsink, or excuse me, the chip there. And then just zoom in. Let me zoom in there so you guys can see it closer. So yeah, looking at that chip there, there's basically no thermal paste left on it. It's like all, I don't know if dissipated is the right word, but it's all spread around, and like the layer between the chip and the heatsink now is extremely thin. So you're not getting much heat to this heatsink. It's yeah, which is not a good sign for this chip here. Now let me take off the second X clamp, and we'll take a look at this chip as well. The second X clamp is now removed. Let's take this heatsink off and see what it looks like. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. Like I said, this looks exactly like the thermal paste that was used from factory, and there's basically no thermal paste left on the chips, which does not bode well for the heat dissipation. I mean, this console's a mixed bag. First of all, $145 for a console like this console should go for no more than like 70 or 80 bucks maybe. And second of all, it's partially refurbished. I mean, it looks nice on the outside, it looks nice on the inside, but the chips, I really think if they're calling it refurbished and you're paying $145 for this, I think they should be adding more thermal paste, even for their sake. I mean, like this thing's in a red ring of death before 120 days without new thermal paste. you're just going to end up with a return. So I don't know why they wouldn't add new thermal paste. And then obviously with the third-party controller and that piece in the front of the faceplate missing, I just think that's a little bit sloppy for 145 bucks. You know, in terms of refurbishment, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because it did look good, but no thermal paste. That's automatic dock of 5 right there. And man, in terms of price here, I got to give it 2 out of 10 for what's included. It's just not great. And one other thing to mention, just to be clear, I don't have a problem with people selling used consoles without changing out the thermal paste. My problem is when people sell refurbished consoles without changing the thermal paste, because I feel like if it's refurbished, you should be changing the thermal paste, especially for when you're selling twice of market value. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what you think about this console, and I'll see you next time.